Good afternoon and welcome to the April the 21st, 2026 Water and Sewer Utility Board meeting. And the first item on the agenda is we're going to do the consent agenda, and we will ask that if there's any board members that want anything on that consent agenda taken off to be discussed later in the meeting. Thank you. Seeing nothing, then we'll go with the consent agenda. That would consist of the minutes of the Water and Sewer Utility Board meeting on April the 7th of 2026. The payroll week ending April the 5th of 2026 was for $494,306.74. The payroll week ending April the 12th of 2026, which was for $160,777.24. The accounts payable voucher register, the pay request, which is Appendix A, approve of addendum to the Evansville Water and Sewer Utility Water Relief Program Collaboration Agreement. This is being recommended by Daniel Clasbell. Also with Otis Elevator Contract for East and West Treatment Plant and Sunrise Pump Station. Industrial Air Centers, PCSA for the air compressors at the East Treatment Plant. And then also master service agreements, which are found in Appendix E. The sewer approval of plans for sanitary main extension at Eagle Point recommended by Sean Wright. And this is your consent agenda, and I would entertain a motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. I vote aye and the motion carries. The first item then will be some bids, and we'll be opening bids for the water treatment plant improvements, and this will be the bid package number 2 for project U1276, being recommended by Logan Booth and Ryan Marr. Do you have any words of wisdom?
None of that, but happy to be here today anyway. This is for bid package 2 at the existing surface water plant. We advertised this project on March the 13th and 20th and held a mandatory pre-bid on March the 31st. So with that, I believe we're ready to open some bids.
Yes, sir. The first bid I have is from Bowen Engineering Corporation. We're looking for,
There should be a mandatory base bid and a voluntary alternate bid.
thank you. And the base bid that we have here for Bowen Engineering Corporation is $13,567,467.
Okay.
And then the alternate bid amount is $13,670,000.
So that's it.
We have 2, and the second one is from Dyke Brothers. Dyke Brothers, then, their base bid is $12,212,160. And their alternate bid amount is $133,500.
Very good.
Difference there. That's the way they approached it.
Yeah, I think Bowen,
What would your
I think
pleasure?
Bowen added their alternate to
I
the
believe so
base.
too.
I just put the alternate amount. With that, I would like to take these bids under advisement and come back with a recommendation for award.
Okay. They would like to take these under advisement for the present time and then come back with a bid. I would entertain a motion to that effect.
So moved.
Second. A motion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. I believe that's what we're gonna do.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. A minute, that goes with it.
And this way.
That goes with, Bowen. Our next, will be under old business water. And this is a approved statement of the basis for just compensation, SBJC for partials 01A, 01AA, 01C, and 04 as part of the US 41 and Lynch Road Water Main Replacement Project, U1028, for $58,000, recommended by Jennifer Kane and Ryan Meyer. Hi, Jennifer.
Well, hi, good afternoon to the board and the directors. I'm seeking approval of the statement of the basis for just compensation for parcels 01A, 01AA, 01C, and 04. It's associated with our US 41 and Lynch Water Main Replacement Project with a total value of $58,000. Approval of the SBJCs will allow EWSU or its representative to approach the property owners with our initial offer. The parcels were appraised by Lockmuller Group and the SBJC values were established. For parcel 01A at 4143 Highway 41, it's valued at $16,800. Parcel number 01AA at 4135 Highway 41 is valued at $500. Parcel 01C at 4249 Highway 41 is valued at $19,300. And parcel number 04 at 5401 Highway 41 is valued at $21,400. And I recommend approval of the SBJCs for the properties in the amount stated.
Do we have any questions for Jennifer? Seeing none, then I would entertain a motion to approve a statement of the basis for just compensation for parcels 01A, 01AA, 01C, and 04 as part of the US 41 and Lynch Road Main Water Replacement Project, U1028. For the $58,000.
Second.
Have a motion, a second. Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. I vote aye and the motion is carried.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Next is approve the change order number 2 for the increased amount of $98,179.67 to the Blankenberger Brothers, Inc. for the Lloyd Expressway T-Couple Avenue to 9th Avenue Water Main Replacement, U1016, recommended by Jennifer Kane and Ryan Meyer. Tell us about it, please, Jennifer.
Sure. I'm seeking approval of change order number 2 to Blankenberger Brothers as an intermediate change order of the construction contract amount. Change order number 2 is a total increase to the contract price of $98,179.67. That creates 25 new pay items and it includes the addition of 39 calendar days. The primary source of increase is the additional scope of work, relocating approximately 66 linear feet of 8-inch water main at the intersection of Barker and Pennsylvania. And that is due to the water main being in conflict with the proposed storm sewer improvements coming up with the NDOT's Lloyd for You project, contract 3. The adjustment of the time includes weather delays, utility conflicts and modifications, and then the additional scope of work that's being added for that water main relocation. And I recommend approval of change order number 2 in the amount stated.
Okay. Do we have any questions on this stuff with Jennifer?
Project initially reimbursed.
Yeah, this one is being reimbursed by NDOT. Yeah,
Anything else? Okay. I will entertain a motion to approve the change order number 2 in the increased amount of $98,179.67 to Blankenberger Burroughs, Inc. for the Lloyd Expressway, Teacup Avenue to 9th Avenue water main relocation, U1216.
So moved. Second.
Have a motion, a second. Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. I vote aye and the motion carries.
thank you.
Thank you. Would you like a chair or anything?
Yeah.
Next is item C, which is approval of the cost reimbursement agreement in the amount of $226,425 between the Evansville Water and Utility and Sewer Utility and Mead Johnson and Company LLC for the Lloyd Expressway, Teacup Avenue to 9th Avenue water main relocation, U1216 project, recommended by Jennifer Kane and Ryan Meyer.
All right, so I'm seeking approval of the cost reimbursement agreement between EWSU and Mead Johnson and Company. The cost reimbursement agreement is for the costs associated with the relocation of Mead Johnson's water service connection as a result of the upcoming abandonment of the 20-inch water main in the Lloyd Expressway that will occur during NDOT's Lloyd for You project. Mead Johnson's contractor will perform the work to relocate their water service connection and the meter pit since it's on Mead Johnson's property. EWSU will then reimburse Mead Johnson for this work associated with the relocation. This work is already included in our agreement with NDOT, so EWSU would then be reimbursed from NDOT. And I recommend approval of the cost reimbursement agreement between EWSU and Mead Johnson in the amount stated.
Okay.
How big did you say their water line is?
It's an 8-inch
8
water
inch.
service.
Okay. Are there any other questions or comments? Seeing none then, I would entertain a motion to approve of the cost reimbursement agreement in the amount of $226,425 between Evansville Water and Sewer Utility and Mead Johnson and Company LLC for the Lloyd Expressway, Teacup Avenue to 9th Avenue water main relocation, U12116 project.
So moved. Second.
Have a motion and a second. Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. I vote aye and the motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. We will now go to old business under the sewer. And this is to approve a first amendment to the highway utility work and utility working contract agreement with Indiana Department of Transportation, NDOT, for the sanitary sewer improvements as part of their planned Lloyd for You contract R45-152 project, recommended by Mitch Ferguson and Ryan Meyer. Explain this one to us,
Yes, sir.
please.
Will do. Good afternoon, Mr. President, members of the board and directors. So this original agreement was approved back in November 18th, 2025. That includes stormwater improvements between Indiana and Illinois to reduce stormwater inflow into the combined sewer system. With EWSU reimbursing NDOT $378,791. During the design coordination with this project, a conflict was also identified between the proposed storm for the NDOT project and an existing 42-inch force main along Ohio Street. This is a known problem area with structural concerns and ongoing maintenance issues. To address this, the amendment expands the project scope to include sanitary sewer improvements within the existing NDOT construction limits. This revised scope includes a relocation of a portion of the 42-inch force main, improvements to CSO 22, and a replacement of approximately 50 feet of 10-inch sewer main along St. Joe Avenue. NDOT will construct these improvements on behalf of EWSU, avoiding the need for a separate project. The additional work is estimated at $1,405,700, increasing the total agreement amount to $1,784,491. Coordinated construction is anticipated to begin as early as July, aligning with the Lloyd for You schedule and minimizing future disruptions. So at this time, I'll recommend the approval of the First Amendment to the Highway Utility Work and Contract Agreement, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Do we have any questions for Mitch? Seeing none, then I would entertain a motion to approve the First Amendment to the Highway Utility Work and Contract Agreement with the Department of Transportation and for the sanitary sewer improvements as part of the planned Lloyd for You contract R 45-152 project.
So moved. Second.
Have a motion and a second. Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. I vote aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Then we have the B part, the approval of the amendment number 4 in the amount of $232,765 to the 2023 sewer non-IOCP CES RPR professional service agreement with American Structure Incorporated, recommended by Mitch Ferguson and Ryan Meyer. Amended not to exceed agreement amount would be then $1,965,050. You, sir, go.
Thanks again. So this amendment would add one new project to the current agreement with American Structure Point. You may recall the Yulehorn Street rehabilitation project that we have Bowen working on now. That it's under active construction, so this would just add the CES and RPR services for that project. That agreement amount or the amended amount is $232,765, bringing the not to exceed amount to $1,965,050. So this time I'll recommend the approval of amendment number 4 and be happy to answer any questions you have.
Quick question for Mitch.
What's the emergency bid or adjustment of the department?
Anything else? Okay. We entertain a motion to approve of amendment number 4 in the amount of $232,765 to the 2023 sewer non-IOCP CES RPR professional service agreement with American Structure Point Inc.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. I vote aye. The motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. We will now go to new business under the water, and this is to improve approval of IDOT's highway work by utility agreement for DES number 221-00044, which is project U1289, being recommended by Jennifer Kane and Ryan Marr. Jennifer?
Hi, I'm seeking approval of the highway utility work by utility agreement with NDOT in the amount of $10,230. Due to an upcoming NDOT project for road and storm sewer improvements at the intersection of Morgan and Bakey, the water main will be relocated prior to this proposed project. Due to the additional right-of-way obtained, NDOT did determine that 2 water meters are eligible to be reimbursed for the actual cost for their relocation. So this agreement will allow us to then invoice NDOT for that reimbursement. I recommend approval of the NDOT highway work by utility agreement for DES number 2100044 in the amount stated.
Do we have questions for Jennifer?
No.
Okay, seeing none then, would entertain a motion for approval of IDOT's highway work by utility agreement for DES number 2100044, which is project U1289. I have a motion and a second. Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. I vote aye. The motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now go to new business under the sewer. And the first is to approve the master service agreement in the amount of $20,000 with Commonwealth Engineers, Inc. for the on-call sewer lift station design services. This is recommended by Ryan Meyer and Sean Wright.
Thank you.
Afternoon, Ryan.
Good afternoon, board. So I'll say that all of these sub items, the next four agreements are all tied together. I'll explain a little bit here that some of you will recall that on the water side, we organized the water linear program as the refresh program around the 2016 era. At that time, we defined designer pools that would be dedicated to performing that scope of work with each project for a longer term so that we can gain some consistency and standardize that program. So this is two subgroups that we've defined on the sewer side to continue to progress the development of all the sewer programs. With that being said, I'm seeking your approval of this first master service agreement with Commonwealth. They were one of two firms that were selected by an internal selection committee to perform our on-call design services for the planned capital improvements to our sewer lift station facilities and our associated site infrastructure with those, as primarily identified through our asset management and capital improvement plan. Commonwealth will serve as one of our primary members that we engage to execute the design and bidding of those lift station rehabilitation or replacement projects over this agreement term. The term of this agreement is very similar to the refresh side. It was a 2-year initial term. It has provisions in place to have the potential retention for 2 1-year additional periods for a total term of 4 years, which will give us both the flexibility at the 2-year mark or stability over the full 4-year term. This agreement is primarily focused on establishing the framework that will define the services that could be commonly applied to any of the projects under this type of work, so that we can simplify and accelerate the assignment of projects by amendment. And those assignments will be issued as programmed or as we have a need that arises that would apply to this specific type of service. Uniquely, this one has a 20,000 not to exceed amount applied to it, because we have also added planning support services that are defined in this agreement type only to allow us to engage this engineer in advance of the design so they can validate the scope of these specific assignments and accurately refine what they will apply in the amendment itself. This provides us with a controlled allowance for this early engagement option, and it can be authorized at the project manager or another representative level through task directive. We have Commonwealth, as I mentioned, was through a selection committee process. We have had a good working relationship with Commonwealth historically in this type of project. They've completed 8 past stations since 2014 in this capacity. So a lot of the strengths that were highlighted through this evaluation procedure was they have that experience and they have a very committed and local team available to support us. Also has a strong familiarity with us. So at this time, I would seek this approval for Commonwealth on the subject lift station on-call design, and I'll entertain any questions you might have.
We have questions for Ryan? Seeing none, then I would entertain a motion to approve the master service agreement with the amount of $20,000 with Commonwealth Engineers, Inc. for the on-call sewer lift station design services. So moved.
Second.
A motion is second. Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. I vote aye and the motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, next is to approve the master service agreement in the amount of $20,000 with 3i Design Inc. for the on-call sewer lift station design services, recommended by Ryan Meyer and Sean Wright. I guess you have to repeat everything again.
No, sir, I do not. So I set that all up for this second one. This is the second firm that was also one of the primary members of our pool. Same services. The only difference is explaining, they also had a good prior relationship, performing work in this capacity. They've designed over 10 past stations since 2013. So very similar strengths, very similar reasons why they were selected by the committee. So, and they also have this provision of the $20,000 allowance that was established for the early work. So with that, I would recommend approval and I'll entertain any questions.
Okay. Do we have any questions for this or Ryan on this? Seeing none, then I would entertain a motion to approve the master service agreement in the amount of 20,000 with 3i Design Inc. for the on-call sewer lift station design services. Somebody take the second. Okay. Thank you for the motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. I vote aye and motion carried.
Thank you.
Next is to approve the master service agreement in the amount of $0 with Commonwealth Engineers for the on-call sewer collection system design service recommended by Ryan Meyer and Sean Wright.
Thank you. So you notice the minor differences here. This one specifically applies to our on-call design services for the planned capital improvements to the sewer collection system. This could be including but not limited to any replacements, extension, capacity upgrade, storage and overflow management, and stormwater removal, as primarily identified through our asset management capital improvement plan. This one has the same definition and scope of services. It has a $0 initial fee because collection systems primarily can be a well-defined scope at the time of the assignment. So they're not as intricate as the lift stations. They're not as complex with the systems that are involved. So this one does not have that fee for the same term. Same reasons. They've been involved in several of our collection systems. With that, I would recommend approval and entertain any questions you might have.
Are there any questions or comments? Seeing none, then I would entertain a motion to approve the master service agreement in the amount of $0 with Commonwealth Engineers Inc. for the on-call sewer collection system design services.
So moved.
Second. Thank you for the motion and the second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. I vote aye and the motion carries.
Thank you.
I'll go one more time.
One more.
Approve, then the next is to approve the master service agreement in the amount of $0 for VS Engineering Inc. for the on-call sewer collection system design service recommended by Ryan Meyer and Sean Wright.
Thank you. So seeking to establish this agreement with ES in the same capacity for the sewer collection system. They will have the same scope of work. They have been selected, so we have a relationship with VS historically since 2011 in more in planning phase and as support in the design phase. So this gives them the opportunity to prove themselves in the lead role as a designer. They were selected because they have that strong familiarity and involved in elements of the design and planning phase. So this gives them that collective opportunity to perform these additional services. They also proposed having a dual design team structure that demonstrated they had the capacity to meet our demands, and they also highlighted the local emphasis and limited reliance on sub-consultants. So that gives them a high level of control to respond to our needs. So with that, I will entertain any questions, recommend approval and entertain any questions.
Any additional questions or comments for Ryan? Seeing none, then I would entertain a motion to approve the master service agreement in the amount of $0 with VS Engineering Inc. for the on-call sewer collection system design services.
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. I vote aye and the motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now go to miscellaneous announcements, information and updates. And the March 2026 flash report is being will be presented by Adam Moore. Adam?
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board, directors. I'll just make some brief remarks about our March 26 financials. I believe those are included in your agenda. We'll begin on the water side. If you look at the first graph shown there, that's our top line number, the revenue through March. And you can see that we've seen an 8% increase to the tune of about $1.4 million. Below that, in the second graph, that's our operating expenses. There is a moderate increase there of about 10%. That's led by the increased cost of energy and chemicals, both things that we expected to show through in our results this year. However, something we did want to highlight is as we've sought to decrease our reliance on outside contractors and bring more expertise in-house. In March, versus this time a year ago, we have decreased the contractual services expense by $250,000. So that represents a very substantial change there as well. So what does this mean for the bottom line? At the very bottom there, you'll see the net income after pilot, our payment in lieu of tax payments. You'll see an increase of about $1.6 million on the water side. I'll pause if there are any questions on water before we cover the results on sewer.
No questions?
Okay, I'll
Please
move right along.
continue.
Yes, sir. Sewer, the top line number, you can see an increase of about 4% versus this time a year ago. We were looking at about an increase of 2%. So this represents substantial positive change for our top line numbers on the sewer side of the house. Moving on to the expenses, you can see again a moderate increase. And at risk of sounding like a broken record, this is again the energy costs showing through. The increase in energy costs that we've seen have represented a fairly substantial increase to our operating expense. However, if you consider our depreciation, overall the operating expenses are down almost 3% through March. So again, really positive change we've seen on the operating expense side. So our bottom line number, you will see it's essentially flat, a decrease of about $160,000 versus this period 1 year ago. So are there any questions on those before I cover the cash and investment section briefly? Okay. Cash and investments, not a lot to cover here. Really, these numbers represent movements into our investment accounts, back into the bank accounts. So as you look at those, you'll kind of see the amounts are offsetting. This just represents some payments out as we've completed projects, as well as movement back and forth between the investment and bank accounts. But I'd be happy to answer any questions on any of those if there are any. Nope. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Adam. Now I ask, is there anything, do any of the board members have anything that they want to discuss or bring up before this meeting?
Yeah. Sean, has there been any update on the solar panel going on the sewer treatment plant?
Actually, there has been. We're finishing up the BOT method that we're planning to bring back to the board to authorize us to do that. We're finishing it up now. It's in final QA, QC. We've also potentially talked, Keith has talked to the city about us potentially doing this for them in several other locations. So definitely look forward to something in May.
Cool. Thank you.
Anything else I'd like to bring up? Okay. Vic, do you, or is some of your other directors have any questions or comments?
I don't have anything personally, but I'd ask for other directors to offer whatever they might want to offer.
Start with you, Keith.
Good afternoon, President. I'd just like to say, the utilities continue this year on controlling costs and operating expenses. As you can see in the flash report, we continue that. Our biggest growing factors are power. And as Sean just mentioned, we'll be bringing solar, to the board soon. So we're trying to take a proactive measure to offset those costs. And, I think we're putting ourselves to be in a strong position with growing costs and look forward to what's, to come this year.
Thank you. Any thoughts, Bob?
I don't have anything to add, but if any board member has any questions about the operation, I have.
Looks like they've started on fuel horn or whatever.
We have started on new home. And we're on a pretty tight timeline, hoping for no rain. I think we have 10 days. That's about all we have built in.
Right by there every day of my life.
Oh.
Twice at least.
I'm trying not to tear up everything.
Just don't close first half. All right.
I'll do my best, sir. I don't have anything to see.
Okay.
I just want to know, Chris, if I shut down First Avenue, can I blame Bob?
Sure.
Okay.
I did have one thing to mention. Why did nobody want me to speak? Is that why I didn't get a microphone today for the meeting?
Yeah, we was hoping you wouldn't notice.
He's observant like that.
Anything else? So then the other question we would have, is there anyone in the audience that has anything that they'd like to bring before this board meeting today? Seeing nothing then, our next scheduled meeting will be the 12th of May, 2026, and it'll be at 3 o'clock here at this pump station. With that, I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'll move.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. We are adjourned. Thank you for your time today. Appreciate it.
I email and golf outing.
Yeah, I forwarded it on.